F1, every iconic explained. Silverstone 1952, the dawn of danger. The 1952 Silverstone Grand Prix revealed how thin the line was between courage and catastrophe. Cars built from aluminum tubes and dreams raced at over 250 kilometers per hour with no belts, no barriers, and no margin. A privateer driver lost control, his fragile car shattering like glass, igniting public debate for the first time. Could speed and safety coexist? Mechanics began reinforcing frames, experimenting with cockpit bracing and fuel separation. The FIA quietly took notes. Soon, tubular frames became standard, and the first whispers of survival engineering were born. It was the day Formula One began measuring progress, not in seconds, but in lessons written in smoke. Le Mans 1955, the day racing stopped. When Pierre Levy's Mercedes launched into the crowd at Le Mans in 1955, it wasn't just sports cars that burned. Motorsport's innocence did. 83 spectators died as the car's magnesium body exploded under floodlights, scattering history across the stands. Formula One teams watched in horror. Within weeks, national governments questioned whether racing should exist at all. The FIA responded with sweeping changes. Barriers reinforced, pit walls widened, and circuit architecture treated like military engineering. Le Mans 1955 became a turning point, from spectacle to science. Motorsport realized that the line between glory and grief had to be drawn in steel, not smoke. Monza 1961, the crowd tragedy. At Monza, September 1961, Ferrari's Wolfgang von Trips touched wheels with Jim Clark's Lotus. His car launched like a missile into the stands, killing 15 spectators and himself. The image of a red blur slicing through white shirts haunted the sport. Ferrari won the championship that day, but victory turned to silence. The FIA began redesigning track layouts, separating fans, and racing by distance and barrier science. It was the moment Formula One discovered that passion needed boundaries. From then on, no crowd would ever stand unguarded beside the roar of progress. Zandvoort 1970, fire without rescue. The 1970 Dutch Grand Prix turned into a firestorm. Piers Courage's de Tomaso burst into flames after hitting an embankment. The marshals, dressed in cotton and panic, stood helpless as fire consumed car and driver. The TV cameras didn't look away, neither did the world. Outrage forced the FIA to mandate flame-resistant Nomex suits for drivers and crew, standardized fuel cells, and dedicated firefighting teams. Courage's death became the catalyst for organized fire science and racing. Out of tragedy came structure. From the ashes, accountability. Nürburgring 1976, the fire and the phoenix. The 1976 German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring became the rebirth of Formula One. Niki Lauda's Ferrari 312T2 hit the barrier at over 200 kilometers per hour, bursting into fire. Fellow drivers, Brett Lunger, Guy Edwards, Arturo Merzario, drag him out of the inferno. The Green Hell earned its name and its death sentence. The FIA banned 22-kilometer circuits and demanded helicopters, medical teams, and extraction tests at every race. Lauda's survival and miraculous comeback proved that courage alone wasn't noble. It had to be protected. From fire came rebirth. From near death, the modern safety era was born. Zolder 1982, the fall of Gilles Villeneuve. By 1982, Formula One had become a high-speed chess match. Gilles Villeneuve embodied pure instinct, a driver who'd rather risk everything than lift off the throttle. During qualifying at Zolder, his Ferrari clipped the back of Johan Massa's car, launching into the air and disintegrating mid-flight. The silence afterward was deafening. Ferrari withdrew instantly, and the FIA began testing helmet retention and cockpit stability. From that wreckage, restraint harnesses, survival cells, and controlled aggression were born. Villeneuve's death marked the transition from courage to calculation, the moment when Formula One's heart learned to beat with reason. Montreal, 1982, Riccardo Paletti's final start. 2 weeks after Villeneuve, the Montreal grid fell silent. Riccardo Paletti, a 23-year-old rookie, slammed into the back of Pironi's stalled Ferrari at 180 kilometers per hour before the lights went green. His car burst into flames. Marshals arrived too late. This was the last death on an F1 starting grid. The FIA responded with new start protocols, computer-controlled lights, radio alerts, and mandatory grid drills. Cars would no longer launch until technology confirmed it safe. Paletti's death taught the world that milliseconds could cost lifetimes, and that reaction must one day belong to machines. Imola, 1994, the darkest weekend. The 1994 San Marino Grand Prix was supposed to mark F1's new dawn. Instead, it became its darkest hour. Rubens Barrichello's brutal crash on Friday, Roland Ratzenberger's death on Saturday, and Ayrton Senna's fatal impact on Sunday forced Formula One to look into its soul. FIA engineers studied cockpit design, impact absorption, and steering column integrity. The sport rewrote its DNA, while tethers, headrests, and speed restrictions became non-negotiable. Senna's passing didn't end a career, it ended an era. Every modern car carries his legacy in titanium and telemetry. Monza 2000, when silence won. At Monza in 2000, chaos unfolded when a wheel flew from a mid-race collision, killing Marshal Paolo Gislamberti. The rest of the race carried an eerie tone. Schumacher's subdued celebration reflected the moment's gravity. FIA doubled wheel tether strength and standardized trackside fencing. The illusion of total safety was shattered. F1 realized it hadn't defeated physics, only delayed it. Melbourne 2001, the cost of momentum. The new millennium began with tragedy. During the 2001 Australian GP, Jacques Villeneuve collided with Ralf Schumacher. His airborne bar Honda's wheel struck Marshal Graham Beveridge, killing him instantly. The FIA responded by upgrading carbon fiber tethers and simulating debris trajectories. Circuits began digital mapping before approval. From Melbourne onward, no part of the track was left to chance. Beveridge's name isn't engraved on a trophy, but his legacy lies in every tether that holds together a car and a life. Suzuka 2014, the digital flag. The storm that hit Suzuka in 2014 changed Formula One forever. Jules Bianchi lost control under double yellow flags and collided with a recovery crane at full speed. His death marked the last fatality in F1 to date. Out of tragedy came the virtual safety car, a digital referee controlling speed through algorithms. The human margin of error was replaced by code. Engineers rewrote the laws of caution, ensuring machines could react faster than men ever could. Jules's name remains unspoken on Sundays, but every yellow light blinks in his honor. Halo 2018, the titanium revolution. When a Halo was introduced, fans mocked it as an eyesore. The 7 kilograms titanium ring above the driver's head seemed like an aesthetic betrayal. But in 2018, Charles Leclerc's survival proved its purpose. Then Grosjean, Hamilton, and Zhou reinforced it. Capable of withstanding 12 tons of force, the Halo transformed from controversy to cornerstone. Today, it's not seen, it's expected. Formula One no longer wears danger as pride. It wears engineering as armor. The Halo wasn't just innovation, it was evolution made visible. Spa 2019, the impact of reality. Antoine Hubert's death during the 2019 Formula 2 race at Spa reminded the world that progress never stops paying in blood. The 160G impact at Rydillen exposed unseen vulnerabilities in barrier geometry and crash angles. The FIA overhauled circuit design, reinforced the halo, and analyzed car-to-car energy transfer. Hubert's accident proved that safety isn't linear. It evolves through tragedy. Today, his name is etched into FIA laboratories, where engineers turn heartbreak into equations. Every fraction of a second saved is his monument. Bahrain 2020, the fire that failed to win. Romain Grosjean's 2020 crash in Bahrain became a modern miracle. His Haas split the barrier in two and exploded into flames. Yet he climbed out alive after 28 seconds in a fireball. 67 GS. The FIA investigated fuel cell integrity, barrier design, and fire suit endurance. New standards emerged: flexible barriers, improved cockpit insulation, and faster fire response. Grosjean didn't just survive. He proved Formula One had evolved beyond luck. The fire tested everything, and engineering won. Silverstone 2022, the miracle of Zhou. One Zhou's crash at Silverstone stunned millions. His Alfa Romeo flipped upside down at 270 kilometers per hour, skidding across the track and into the fence. The halo took the brunt of the impact, preventing his helmet from touching the ground. The roll hoop failed, but Zhou survived, uninjured. FIA instantly upgraded roll hoop standards and verified halo integration. This was no miracle. It was proof that foresight saves lives. The 2022 crash transformed data into destiny. The science of survival made real. Las Vegas 2023, the hidden danger beneath. When Carlos Sainz's Ferrari struck a loose drain cover during the 2023 Las Vegas GP practice, the damage cost millions and shattered confidence in modern track prep. A city built on lights and spectacle forgot about the ground below. FIA ordered full infrastructure audits for all street circuits, including subsurface scans and vibration tests. The lesson: safety begins before the engine starts. The glamour of Vegas couldn't hide that even in the future, danger lurks beneath the surface. Lessons engraved, 1950 to 2023. From hay bales to titanium halos, Formula One's 73-year journey is written in sweat, loss, and reinvention. Each name, Villeneuve, Senna, Bianchi, Grosjean, forms a sentence in a book bound by progress. Today's cars can withstand forces that would have erased legends of the past. Yet, every innovation carries a ghost whisper: never forget why. F1's true speed is not measured in kilometers per hour, but in how fast it learns from pain. Every survivor owes a debt to those who didn't. In the glow of carbon and steel, the past still drives every lap.